Permaculture is being used in all sorts of ways with all sorts of different communities around the UK and around the world. But there's a perception, and perhaps some reality, that some of the courses aren't accessible for as many people as they might be, and a lot of the places that are practicing permaculture are appealing to a particular type of person. They really want to appeal more broadly. So the Permaculture Association has been thinking about this for a while, and I was talking to Andy Goldring, the Chief Executive, about this idea of what does a thriving community really look like. We're at the Grange in West Norfolk, which is an old rectory. It's about 250 years old with 10 acres of land. We're really blessed to have shared our home with several hundred asylum seekers over the past 5 years, and to learn from them, to learn from their stories, their lives, their cultures, their music, and so many other things.
Thriving Communities is quite a broad project to showcase the good work that people are doing using permaculture principles throughout the UK and any connections we may have. So it's the local, global perspective. But for me, I think the important thing is to bring an urban perspective to permaculture. That's where I'm based, that's where I was born, in Lambeth, South London. So making practical choices about where we live, making things attainable to people. So we're not dealing with things which are expensive, we're not dealing with things where you need a university degree, we're dealing with street level, can I do this with my neighbours, my mates up the road, my kids, my grandkids, can I do it while I'm dropping my children to school? You know, a little bit about composting, a lot about self-care most of the time, and we squeeze bits of knowledge in where we can. So we roll out training programs for people, we signpost where activities are taking place, and we're having a focus on youth taking the lead.
We work with people who've experienced a brain injury. And we use permaculture as a way of helping them come to terms with the effects of their injury and to think about ways in which they can use the resources around them to live richer lives after injury. The main thing that we run is a 6-month permaculture gardening course. They do some design work, and then they move on into community settings, local community gardens, and they take that design work with them and then implement it in a real life setting.
Community Farm is a volunteer project in the centre of Bradford. It's nearly 2 acres of what was previously derelict allotment site, and basically with the support of volunteers and a team of local people, all part-time workers, we've managed to translate it into this. So we've got 2 commercial-sized polytunnels, we've got a therapeutic horticulture garden, we do forest schools, and we have a sort of natural wildlife area, if you like, that we will eventually enhance, and we've got a forest garden as well, or the beginnings of a forest garden.
So here at the May Project Gardens, we have been running open days, workshops and courses for about 8 years. It was co-founded by Ian, who identified several issues within the community.
Yeah, so we noticed there's a massive disconnect between people's relationship with food and the environment. And that manifests itself in several different ways. The first being obesity. The second thing is the food banks. Within this borough alone, there's actually 8 food banks.
Yeah, and just one of those food banks gets 300 visitors per month. The Food, Hip Hop and Green Economy course combines education, personal growth and skills development to help young people use music to grow their communities. The first stage starts with the self. The young people develop an understanding of how food affects their mind, but also their bodies. The second stage is about understanding the social, economic and political context of the green economy, of food growing and of sustainability. The final stage is where the young people take action. They go out into their communities, make tracks, sell those tracks, and then put on an event called Come We Grow.
I don't think there is anyone that would walk in that door and not think this is an oasis, this is a place, this is calm, and the people are all so friendly.
Sydenham Garden gives me a high degree of stability. It gave me a sense of belonging, and it gave me a sense of community that I hadn't had for a long time.
We are an organisation that is working at both ends of the mental health spectrum really. We're looking at prevention as well as recovery from mental health. We work with both primary cares, settings like GPs, and the Improving Access to Psychological Therapies team called IAT, so we work very closely with those networks. We offer people 12-month placements with us, initially 12 months, and we use social and therapeutic horticulture, the arts, crafts, and other creative activities to help generate a community and a place of belonging, but also in a therapeutic way.